It is Sunday, July the 3rd, 2022. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I am your host, Tanae, and as always, I have the lovely Cancer Cassie with me because we are in Cancer season. Here we go. What's up, girl? How was your revolution around the sun? How was the birthday?
Solar return was pretty good.
Okay.
It's dumpster fire of a world notwithstanding. it was great fun. Got to see some old friends of mine, which is very Cancer mood. Hang out with people who you've known for 20 years. And celebrate with my family, which is also a Cancer mood. And unfortunately, my husband was closely exposed to COVID, but he gets a few days off and we get to all hang out together at home. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm not closely exposed.
Yeah, I know. This is like the third time it's happened, so knock on wood. Hashtag, what did they call y'all? Essential workers at the beginning of the pandemic.
That's most
so insulting.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because really,
yeah.
Y'all don't pay them like essential, but hey, that's another conversation for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But since we are in the full swing of Cancer season right now, it's okay to be in your feels, guys. It's okay to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Cassie and Coral earlier, I throw on a good Undercover Boss episode and bawl my eyes out. It's amazing. All the joy that they bring to these employees that just don't know. I am here for the good Cancer season feel and vibes, which are getting turned up because we have a lot of movement with the planets. Currently, we have the sun in Cancer. The moon is in Virgo. And we have Mercury and Venus in Gemini, but Mercury is doing what? Making its way to Cancer. So we're going to talk about these feels. On Tuesday, and joining Mercury there, Mercury on Tuesday moving into Cancer, we have Mars moving into Taurus, leaving the comfortable placement of Aries and slowing its ass all the way down in Taurus. So taking action is probably going to be a slow and steady pace, which I think is really good considering all of the bullshit happening right now. Is that a fast action isn't going to get us long-term results.
That's real. And in the midst of all this Cancer season energy, when you're going to be dealing with your emotions and speaking about them and feeling them come to your surface when you watch Undercover Boss or binge those good news Instagram accounts where like everything is really happy tears, is to not feel the need to react to every single emotion you have. And so Mars and Taurus just pulling us back a little. Just take a nice nap about it. Eat a wheel of cheese. Like do something that feels
again
good.
Go back to nurturing and mothering yourself. That's the best way to really handle your emotions is because if you think about it, for most of us, our mothers were the first person that we exchanged emotions with. And so whether they were good or bad, because not everybody has a good maternal experience, but that nurturing, what that means for everyone is so comforting. And Cancer does rule the 4th house of home. So, Venus is still in Gemini. So go ahead, flirt away. Do what you gotta do. Don't take it too seriously to get caught up in your feelings and shit. Just eating ice cream out of container. Bitch,
always. Yes, very much a Cancer season mood.
That is an all year round thing, but Cancer season, especially Cancer tour, yes, with the Mars movie, yes, girl, the whole, all of that.
All of it.
Add fudge on top if you want, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we still do have a couple of retrograde planets. Those are the outer planets. We have Saturn in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces retrograde, and Pluto in Capricorn retrograde. So those three are still all retrograde. I think the best is having Neptune retrograde in Pisces because it allows us to be a lot clearer from our daydreams and the illusions. A lot of things that you didn't see before may now become a little bit clearer. And then I was talking to Cassie and Coral earlier about Saturn in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius is comfortable because Saturn was Aquarius's original ancient ruler. But Aquarius is also the rebel, and it's pretty much looking at dad being like, bro, you fucking up. So it's really challenging the authority. And as you can see throughout our country, we are challenging the authorities' authority because, you know, for us Americans, the Supreme Court of the United States is the highest law in the land. And now we're all kind of questioning, why is that? Because it doesn't have everyone's interest at heart. It has the highest law of the land's interest at heart. And that's questioning the authority, along with Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. Again, transformation from the authority and the paternal figures, and realizing like the founding forefathers didn't know shit, and neither do the dudes in charge now.
Lifetime appointments made a lot of sense when people only lived to be 39.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, we make people retire at 65, but we got people in there at 78. The fuck you know about it? And you're not going to be here in like 5 years, yo. Like, you're not going to be here. You're going to be ashes and the planet's still burning. Like, what the fuck?
You're not a fucking stakeholder in what the EPA does to regulate poisons in water today, baby, because this is going to affect unborn children who y'all are so fucking concerned about having in this world, except that water poisoning is one of the very worst things that a fetus can be exposed to, because everything that goes into a mother gets concentrated 10 times in a fetus. That's why we have to have fucking regulations on what the fuck goes in the water.
Oh, you mean like how Flint, Michigan still got dirty ass water? And that motherfucker Rick Snyder is just chilling? Oh,
taking the fifth. Taking the fifth. Taking the fifth.
And we're years into this. This is what, like 8, 9? I mean, this is years. And
years ago.
Look, me and Cassie gonna ride for Michigan. I don't care about the rest of y'all. We gonna ride for our state.
That's right.
So I encourage everyone to continue with all of this, to try and stay as high vibrational as you can, because they want us to be as low vibrational as possible. They want us to cave and feel like there is nothing else that is out there, that we are trapped. And that is not the truth. That is a false reality. I don't want y'all to ever think that. No matter what they tell you, what they say, we still all have free will, even if it doesn't feel like it. And it's up to us to voice that and to stand up and let them know they fucking up.
Yep.
Like, come on. All of
Fuck
us.
Our constitutional
from Generation
rights.
X to the Alpha generation, who, by the way, shout out to the 14-year-old that figured out how to put the Supreme Court justices shit on blast. You the GOAT this year. You get the GOAT.
Yep.
14.
It's your year, sir. Do you want to be a Supreme Court justice? Because honestly.
Because you probably could.
Go for it. Like,
but I was going to say, but on the best note about the Supreme Court justices, y'all know what happened this week. The Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. What? My girl she got sworn in, so it's official. They let her walk into a fire, but it's cool. She got that Virgo Earth energy. She gonna just make it happen. So, ma'am, we salute you. Thank you so much for being the first African-American woman to accomplish this feat, to have the most qualifications out of everybody on the Supreme Court that you are sitting with, to have surpassed them. And we're thankful that you got a space at the table.
That's right. And you know what? I hope she doesn't have imposter syndrome, because I'd like to give a little anecdote about imposter syndrome and why I don't have that anymore. Okay. I worked in a law firm whose clients were corporations, like mostly giant corporations. And I was in a meeting where we were onboarding a new client. And the attorney from this company, a Fortune 100 company, my boss said, hey, we're going to need access to your warranty records for these cases that we're going to, fight for you guys. And this man said, I don't know how we will get you access to those records. And I actually don't even know if we keep records on warranties. So here's a white man in his 50s or 60s, likely getting paid 7 or 8 figures a year for that job, because he's an attorney for a Fortune 100 company, who not only doesn't know how we're going to get it, doesn't know if it exists. And I truly in that moment was like, damn, nobody knows shit. Like, and here I am it's very likely that half the people in that room don't know shit. So if I know a little bit, I'm probably doing okay. Fuck it. I'm here. So
I love that. Listen, that's it, y'all. Half the people in the room don't
channel
know
your
shit.
inner white man and
Hello.
just
Ooh,
pretend like
girl.
you're supposed to be there.
Exactly. Channel that inner entitlement. Channel that
Yeah.
inner how dare you.
How dare you
How dare
question
you question
me?
my male patriarchiness.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, guys, we are so freaking excited
Oh
about
my
our
gosh.
guest. We have decided that Leos love us and we love the Leos. And so our guest is always keeping it live with us in the chat. And she is an amazing human being and does really fascinating things. And we're so excited to talk about it with her. So we are going to bring on Gotta Be Goldie. She's going to hop on and we're going to talk to her about herself and all of those fun things and some other things.
Yes.
Hey!
So Janelle is a Leo sun and
a Gemini
moon and a Libra rising.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm trying to change my mood because after we listed the fuckery that is America.
I'm sorry.
The
We always end up
rage.
talking about it. Yeah.
Yes. Because you know why?
It's necessary.
There you go.
What the fuck?
There you go. That's how we keep it.
But like you said, we're gonna carry the confidence of a white man and get this stuff going.
So tell us what you know.
Jamaica. Hey, Janine. Sorry, I got fans in the chat.
I know. I love it.
We listen. We know Leo stay with some fans. So Janelle, tell us what you know about being a Leo.
Oh, so many things. I'm too much of everything. Very dramatic. I think the misconception I often have to, I don't defend it, but like, we don't have an inflated ego out of thinking we're the shit. We have an inflated ego, it seems to be out of insecurity. We want everybody to like us. You know what I'm saying? So when we come off as, oh, she thinks a lot of herself. No, really, I'm trying to get you to be my friend. But outside of that, you know, we like to have fun. We like to socialize. We like to be in the spotlight. That kind of thing.
All right. Well,
For sure.
So, you have you have actually a nice chart. It reflects.
So it's just me fucking up. Okay.
No, wait.
Not in the stars. It's just me.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Well, let hear me out though. You do have a nice chart, but there are some placements, like your placements are comfortable, but the houses that they in create some challenges. So what I will say is you have your sun in Leo, and sun in Leo, you know, that's where it's supposed to be. That's where y'all shine the brightest. Everybody gets their inspiration from Leo's ability to shine and be themselves, right? But it is in the 11th house, which is ruled by your opposite, Aquarius, which is about communities and groups. And so my question to you is, how did you find your tribe?
I feel like I'm still finding it. I feel like the more authentic I become, people are naturally vibrating out. And I'm having this feeling of, damn, where'd everybody go? But it's making sense now because it was like an inauthentic connection. So like, I'm just trying to lean into being more of myself and knowing that they will come. But like, all my friendships that I have that are like really strong is because I'm my most authentic self with them. So.
Continue to lean into that, because Aquarians are all about authenticity. That's what the 11th house is about. And being able to shine and be your authentic self is the best way to attract the same type of energy that you really need. And it gets lonely when you start to vibrate high because not everybody's can come with you. Not everybody's on the same page. And it's okay because the right ones will. And you're learning that inauthentic, connections really don't serve you very well.
No, not at all.
It's that's a very interesting, like Leo sun in the 11th house is such an interesting placement because the 11th house is beyond our career and our social stature. It is really like, okay, how do we fit into humanity, into these like human groups, And I think, a lot of people are probably going through a similar thing right now, and maybe over the past couple of years, is just the pandemic and everything we've been through has exposed like there are so many areas that are fucked up and need attention. And when you see people who are like, that's not fucked up, this is okay, you're like, what? Like, I can't even be around you, And
Right.
And I think those of us who are more maybe empathetic are like clawing for what's next for humanity, right? Like how do we as a group do better for everybody? And you have the ability to shine within whatever group you find that feels like they relate to your vibration, but be discerning in that, because you don't have to settle for any groups that don't deserve you.
That's interesting because, like, I've always had I'm going to save the world mentality. And like you said, it's just a matter of how to go about it. So I've had that, like, dynamic play off, like, all my life. Like, I want to just be somewhere where I feel like I make a difference. So,
I used the term earlier, like, not necessarily a cult leader, okay? I want to like that. But, however, your ability to be able to shine within a group and lead that group and have them kind of follow you is really heightened.
that was funny.
With your sun and your Mercury in the 11th house, because you are destined to lead and speak through your voice. So continue to find your authentic voice within groups and continue to find your authentic self, because it will guide you in the best way. And that was like, I love that placement for you. I think that you going through finding your tribe is what you need right now, because it's allowing you to become who you're supposed to be.
That makes sense.
I would like to talk about yes. Oh, we have so much more tea to be sipped, yes. Jamaica. Just you wait. So you have a very rare aspect in your chart, which is Saturn and Uranus in conjunction. So that happens once every 45 years. So it won't happen again until, well, I'm not going to say, I don't want to give away your birth year. It's fine. But so Saturn is the planet of limitations, of discipline, of kind of like dad energy, traditional authoritative energy. Saturn in our charts often shows us our karma or lessons that we have to learn. And Uranus is the planet of originality, of new ideas, of breaking free. So to have these two planets so close together creates some tension within your personality, right? Like the desire to be cautious, but also to throw caution to the wind. And you have both of these in Sagittarius, and they're both in retrograde. So you feel this energy very deeply within you. And Sagittarius is such a generally like free placement, right? Like it wants to explore. It doesn't want to be hindered. But Saturn can be, Saturn's trying to limit. Saturn shows you your limitations, right? Like we all have them. This tension often leads to reinvention. Like reinvention is a theme in your life. And you have this conjunction in your third house, which is usually ruled by Gemini, which is your house of communication and your sort of local life, your siblings, and travel around like your community. So I wanted to ask you, how have you experimented in how you communicate, and what kind of lessons have you learned about speaking out in your community or even within your friends and family?
I really relate to what you were saying as far as the tension goes of like being cautious and then not giving the fuck essentially. I have a thing, and first of all, I think I have ADHD, so that's a whole nother subject. But I say that because I run from routine and structure and discipline because it's like, how fucking boring. Free spirit. But I am hella chaotic when I don't have any of that. So, you know what I'm saying? So I relate to that. Experimenting is kind of tricky because I get into my head a lot about things going right. Like, I want it to be perfect. So it's like, if the experiment isn't like foolproof, like, oh, I got this. It's like, I don't want to, but I'm trying to, like you said, reinvention is a theme. So every so often, life events will happen, and then I'll be pushed into like, let's just throw the blueprint away. We're just gonna start over. We're just gonna start over. Let's start fresh, and I'll go through a metamorphosis, so to speak, and feel more comfortable in that space. But communication is still a struggle for me. I love to talk. I love to socialize and stuff like that. But the in-between phase I'm in as far as finding my tribe, it's like testing it out with people, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like people have to be learning discernment with who is what I'm going through right now. Because I don't want to waste my time talking to the wrong people either. You feel me? Like, I got real shit to say.
But once you start, the right people will hear you, and the wrong people, and the wrong people will tell you what you say. Will try and tell you what you mean, if that makes any sense. Like, that's not what I said, but for them, that's what they heard. Cool, and let it go.
That makes sense.
Speaking of reinvention, you have another little fun aspect. You have Venus in Cancer. Cute, real sentimental.
Real cute, right?
But it's at 0 degrees, which is amazing. If anybody ever looks at their chart, 0 degrees means that it is the beginning of that sign's energy. And so it's not diluted, it is strictly pure, and you're able to kind of transform it and learn as a child through it. I have my moon at 0 degrees, so learning to navigate these emotions. But you, for having Venus at 0 degrees, it says that you are incarnated to start all over again in relationships. And you have a lot of interesting aspects when it comes to relationships in your chart. You are a Libra rising, and Libra normally rules the 7th house, but for you, it is ruling your 1st house. And while your initial interaction with people is very much like trying to balance that partnership and figure out, you have Mars, the planet of bitches me, like in your 7th house,
Right.
in Aries. And that is a very intense placement for Mars already, but it's uncomfortable in the 7th house in partnerships because it just is like, I don't want to, like, Aries is me.
This is about me.
Yeah, not about us.
Not about us.
So how do you not dominate in your partnerships, but also maintain your own individuality?
Whoa. That's complex. Okay, so I think in my current relationship, I think I really just had to learn how to be a teammate, which is not easy with everything that you say, right? I think when you're not cognizant, I think it's a human thing. If you're not building self-awareness and working on yourself, it is easy for it to be, it's all about me and my feelings and my hurts and my pain and my trauma, and you're not gonna fuck with me type of energy that we bring into a relationship. But that's very like, it's not only inconsiderate, but it doesn't let people in. Like they never get in to really like get to know you and stuff like that. So I feel like currently it's been trial and error, but just trying to be a good teammate. We have a little girl, she's 2, and definitely since she's came into the picture, we have learned to like really meet each other where we're at, and like that give and take. And like I said, it's not perfect all the time, but the understanding and openness, and like I said, self-awareness goes a long way with everybody. So when you're able to be in that space, it's a lot different. In the past, wasn't in those spaces. So it's lots of yelling, lots of fighting, lots of and it's different this time around, and it's kind of to see like, oh, this is what healthy looks like is it's nice.
Very
But
nice.
sometimes I do have to reel back, like, that's your teammate, not your enemy. Okay, like you ain't gotta gouge nobody's eyes out today. Okay, you reel
It's
it
right.
back.
It's you and your partner versus the problem, not you versus your partner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even what like I said, you have to check in often, because when you don't, you always think you're coming from a good place. You always think you're coming from good intentions, and you realize like, oh, that was kind of shitty what I said earlier today. Let me go apologize, which is not easy for the Leo and me to do. So I'm like, I'm sorry. You
No.
want something to eat?
That's
You
Venus and
know.
Cancer talking right there. Let me feed you, baby.
Let me show you my sunshine first, but I'm gonna feed you. That's and I guess Venus and Cancer, Mars and Aries, like that's a spicy little combo, girl.
Yeah,
It
that's what
is.
I was curious about with those two aspects, those two placements, and also the fact that that Saturn Uranus conjunction I mentioned earlier is directly opposite your Venus in Cancer. And so to me, all of this is like we're like a tension between wanting a very traditional relationship where you play like the traditional mom role and the wife role, and also wanting absolutely nothing to fucking do with that sometimes. So how I think
I'm
one thing.
struggling mentally. That's how I be feeling over there. Yeah.
You're
It's
doing
very much
great.
all of that
First of
going
all, you're doing great.
on. Wow. I feel so called out.
You signed
But in
up
a
for
good way,
it.
because self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that definitely happens a lot. Because I tell everybody, like, if you had told me 4 years ago I was going to be a mother of a 2-year-old now, get the fuck out of here. But I always dreamed of like traditional, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom, I'm gonna be real cute, and then like, it's parts of me that are like, I don't want to be bound to anything. It's kind of late for that now, right? So
Well,
Yeah, because the talk about being a mother is never going to be the epitome of it's about me. It's literally just the
yeah.
opposite. Like you were always now second to someone else, and that is a hard pill to swallow. Even though I am a huge
and it's
proponent of.
rude that they don't really say that up front. Like,
That
it's
part.
in the fine print.
It is. It's in
That's
the
something that should be
paragraphs
at
you
the
don't
top.
read. Yep.
It's in the fine print with going to the eye doctor and trying to scan down and seeing if you
Yeah.
can read it.
Yep.
Okay? Like, you mean to tell me forever it's going, I have needs too. I have wants too, okay? But,
And
she's cute, so it makes up for a lot. That's my boo, so.
Yes.
you got a lot of fire energy, a lot of spicy energy. So how do you prevent burnout?
I don't. Haven't quite figured out yet. That's funny. It's like everything y'all are saying I've taught within the last week. I told y'all I really feel like I have ADHD. So I've been looking up stuff about ADHD burnout. But within the last month or two, I have done a better job of listening to my body. Way before it gets to the point of I do I'm telling all my business on here, but it'll help somebody. I have anxiety and panic disorder. And I've noticed over the years that once I get to that point, it's been a lot of like not listening to myself before it erupted. So like, especially as a mom, there's a lot of stress that comes in that like you don't know how to take on, and you're just trying to like push through because you think that's the mom thing to do.
Yeah.
So like,
Wow.
since she's become a little bit more independent, I have scaled back on it and like, okay, when you're hungry, eat. When you're thirsty, drink. When you're sleepy, sleep. And it's just like, wow, how a basic concept like that would keep things from happening. You know what I'm saying? But it's relearning what I need at this point. So it's still a process though, because like you said, with all the fire energy, it's like where to channel it. What's healthy for me to channel all this energy into so that I have balance and don't feel like that. So
And that's fire energy is something that needs to be balanced, not controlled, but kind of balanced. And you have fixed fire, which, stays the course, maybe longer than necessary, but hey, I'm with you on the fixed energy.
yeah.
And then you have mutable fire, which, as we said, we never know. And we kind of did like put all your elementals together, and a mixture of like what your qualities, the elements, and modalities are. And it turns out you have a lot of Sagittarius, like you have a lot of that type of energy, which is mutable fire that is always going somewhere. And I think the best ways, honestly, for fire signs to channel their energy is physical activity. Being able to
Ew.
like being able to get it out as far as like, I mean, and that can be, it doesn't have to
I've
be,
been
it could
taking
be like
walks lately, so that makes sense.
screaming, but it could be screaming. It could be like going into, I don't know how you feel. I'm just
You
giving you
know what I always wanted to do? The
box.
yes,
Yes.
I
Or the rec
always
room,
wanted.
like going into the rec, like getting,
Yeah.
so using the fire energy to dynamically get it out. So going into like a rec room, whatever you need to do to just get that energy out. I know when I said physical, I don't mean like a walk. I mean, you could do a walk, but I'm talking about like more stuff where you can feel your energy.
Rage. Just
Yes,
don't go
there
to
you go.
jail.
Yeah. If
Yes.
you want to go, listen,
Makes
please
sense.
don't. We will start a
Yeah.
bail.
Oh
Listen, we will
no.
start a bail fund for you just in
True.
case, because
True.
we support. We gonna make sure our people don't stay in there.
It
But
doesn't
just,
sound like somewhere I want to be.
girl,
So
no, no. So look, you too
haven't got
pretty.
a good review yet.
You too pretty. You too pretty to go to jail. Let it go.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
listen. Hello. So I would definitely find some sort of. I have an Aries moon, and so for me, if I get very like overwhelmed or anything like that, I want to go to a boxing ring or do something where I can get the physical energy
Boxing.
out,
That
and
would be
then it's
fun.
like it's not stuck in me. And you're a Gemini moon, so communication and writing, journaling, all of that is also probably going to help you. I would say if with the ADHD, start writing. If you're starting to feel like, oh my God, I'm going crazy, just start writing the thoughts down. They don't have to mean anything, but get them out rather than having them ruminate in your head.
I'm big on journaling. Like I'm a
Yeah.
big journaling
Yay.
enthusiast. Ever since I got my anxiety diagnosis, has definitely helped me like get it all out and not have it up here. So,
Stick with it. I'm also a fan of audio journals. If you've never heard that before, speaking it out.
oh yes,
Yeah.
and that's a whole nother like you said. Sometimes the physical comes out like that. Like I can't just write this. I gotta talk about it. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. That's such good advice.
So we're going to talk about our favorite thing to talk about is the North Node, your karmic path. We love to talk about that. And what the karmic path is that it is the sign that was rising on the horizon at the time of your birth. And it's pretty much how your soul has placed an imprint on this world and what your soul's destiny is here to do.
Okay.
Very different from what maybe your sun placements or any of your other like regular placements are here to do. Those are like expressed kind of in reality. I guess that's the best way to say it, or expressed like very obviously your Leo sun is expressed through all the sunshine, you know what I mean? Like all of that. So your North Node is in Pisces in the 6th house, and you are called on the way of devotion. And it is quite the interesting path because it asks you to balance selfishness with selflessness. And it also calls for you to find a person, a cause, or something to devote your life to. And I do know, because I was creeping on your IG, that you, duh, that
What did you find?
you and I have something very similar in common. You are a birth and postpartum doula, which I love, absolutely love and adore. And I will tell you this, for your karmic path and for your career, you are absolutely on the right path to continue with that. But the suggestion for your karmic path is to avoid worry, learn to relax, and let things
What a fucking
be.
bullshit suggestion.
Bullshit. I'm full of worry. I've been talking about the whole episode.
I know, right?
Okay?
Right. Pay attention to your feelings and acknowledge your mission. But what Cass and I talked about earlier is that Virgos tend to worry and be very anxious. Like that is their sign. And Pisces, they're like, fuck it. And so the other end of the not worrying is allowing faith to step in and having faith that everything is going to be okay. And you have to, you started at the South Node of Virgo. So you started very perfectionist and anxiety, like you're starting at that and you have to kind of release that and move towards the Pisces energy of really just letting things go and having faith. And it's in the 6th house of Virgo's service. And so just making sure that you don't get so lost in the service that you get lost.
That makes sense. So like I became a birth and postpartum doula like in the middle of the pandemic, right after I had my baby. I was very passionate about like going through that whole process, like how much it's needed, especially in our community.
Girl, say in the black community, say it loud. We say black
in the
here.
Black community.
We say black here. We say black.
Black. But to be honest with you, a job like that, you really have to be in position to give that person everything that they're due. And because I had my own child, that was impossible for me. I just did not feel right fully stepping into it and being like, I got my own baby to take care of. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not fair to anyone who needs that around the clock type of care. However, I speak about it a lot because if I can't do anything else, I'm going to speak up and use my voice for that. And I want to start a blog, and that's definitely something I want to be a part of it, not just that entirely, but because of the disparities and all the things that are going on, it's just very important. So I know, like, with everything that you said, I'm like, oh, getting called out again. Cool.
No, I honestly, you actually resonated with something that, because I took a break from it because I was not emotionally ready to be there, like you said, and I never wanted somebody to get shortchanged from their experience, and I, just like you, was like, oh, Black women need the support because we are dying at a ridiculous rate prior to this whole shitter fuck that just happened. So even more so.
You know what's crazy? When that shit happened, I'm like, really felt like God was telling me like, so I'm gonna end up doing this shit anyway, huh? Like, I already said to myself, I was glad I got the certification, because when she got old enough to where I could explore it, I'll come back to it. But shit like this happens, and it's like, everybody gonna have to be all hands on deck in a minute, because
How you think our
it's
ancestors did it?
exactly. Because
You
if
know?
y'all didn't know, everybody in the chat, black women made up midwifery. It's our shit. It's
It
been
was
stolen and
hello.
whitewashed, but it's our shit.
It was our
So
titties that were feeding your children. Remember that shit too. but
write
that's
that
too much
down.
for you to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna. I'm gonna segue real quick. So the crystal you should look up is.
Oh, thank you,
We
Jamaica.
love Jamaica. We gonna see you next week, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Your crystalline gemstone is sugarlight. It connects individuals to their reason for existence and supports the feeling of having a mission. This stone reveals methods of embodying the divine
What
in
color
human
is
form.
that?
I think it's
I
like a
feel like I've.
purple. I feel like
Okay.
it's like purple. And then the stone affirmation is I am safe and protected within my own bubble of light. And I work to bring reality to my deepest dreams, as well as the collective dream of planet life, of light.
Ooh.
So that is
Okay.
a really,
Right.
really good one. So instead of a game, we love Janelle and we want to keep it talking with her. So we have decided to do hot tea chat with a Leo queen.
Mm-hmm.
Again, black women.
Mm.
Hello, hello, hello,
Yes.
hello.
Mine's rose. I'm sorry. Go
Mm.
So,
on.
hey, somebody ain't got to work tomorrow.
That's right.
Nobody really cares about that day. But anyway, thanks for the day off,
Right.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Even though y'all
so
have nothing to celebrate.
No, my uterus isn't feeling very free right now, but go on. Go on.
Or my
so
black ass. So
hello, hello,
Mm-hmm.
or my black gay ass, all of that
is
shit.
it 2022 or
So
1922? It's
speaking of,
on.
speaking of, we are gonna start with this lovely Leo queen, Miss Anita Hill. So I just want to say, Anita, girl, we so sorry. We should have heard. We should have listened to you. We
Did
fucked
you
up.
dirty.
We
We
did
did you
you
dirty.
so dirty. So for
Mm-hmm.
those of you who may or may not be old enough to know, Anita Hill is. We'll tell you what she is, but I'll tell you what she's famous for. So she is an American author, a lawyer, and an educator. Currently, a professor of social policy and law and women's studies at Brandeis University, of course.
Yes.
Um, but the most of us know her that Uncle Clarence got nominated for the Supreme Court way back in 1991, and he initially went through the confirmation hearings with no issue, but then Anita Hill was asked, "Hey, girl, what happened?" And Anita Hill told her story of sexual harassment from Clarence and testified at his confirmation hearing in front of Joe Biden. Weird.
Weird.
So this queen, this Leo queen, stood her ground and told the entire world how this man sexually harassed her for years, but somehow we just made her discredited and allowed him to get on there. She has written quite a few books. The last one she wrote was in 2021. It's called Believing Our 30-Year Journey to End Gender Violence. She is probably one of the best women to speak on sexual harassment and ending gender violence. So, Janelle, what do you think about that?
Think
About
about the.
Anita Hill?
Um. First of all, fuck Clarence Thomas. I think sexual harassment is one of those things that just like really gets swept under the rug. And the higher up you are, the worse it is. It seems like, and to put your personal business all out there on the line to just get that slap in the face is just wild. But I think one thing about Leos that we don't credit ourselves enough on is resiliency. So I'm glad that she's still in the fight. Because going through that, like, that's a bruised ego for sure. And, like, fuck y'all. Y'all have yourselves. I'm out. And she's still, you know, doing her thing. So, also, just like you were talking about earlier, like, being a leader or a trailblazer in that aspect, too. So,
All right.
I agree 100% that, like, fucking good on her for not just, you know, disappearing after that. No, who could have blamed her? Joe Biden just shitting all over her in his questioning of her in those hearings. And, like, a broken system when we're rerunning some bullshit from 1991 and somehow it's setting us back 70 years because these two motherfuckers who didn't have that shit together in 1991 still don't have it together. Great. Love that. But also, like, it's just so sad to think about. It's tragic to think about the many ways that if we just listened to and valued Black women in this society, things would be better. Like, if we had valued Anita Hill, taken her seriously, Clarence Thomas doesn't get on the court, and then neither does Brett Kavanaugh, because it means that a credible sexual harassment or assault allegation disqualifies you from being on the fucking Supreme Court. But, like, we made the wrong choice then. The white men who ran our government made the wrong choice then. And, you know, we made the wrong choice 4 years ago with fucking Brett Kavanaugh too. But Anita Hill did inspire a whole generation of women. In 1992, more women got elected to public office than ever before in history. And she continues to inspire because Leos are not going to quit fucking shining ever for anyone. And nor should they. So, you know, Anita Hill, I'm sorry. You are added to the list of people who we owe apologies to.
right. And that's, like you said, it's so fitting for the 4th of July to speak on that, because Black women been saving this goddamn country and the world while y'all give us all the crumbs.
Listen,
none of the benefits. Crumbs? Every right. Is it crumbs? Every time we look up, you help us. Save us again, please. We need you. And it's just like, you know, we getting tired. We getting wear thin.
No, we need ourselves, so we saving each other.
We're not gonna stop fighting, but the nerve and the audacity of it. Look at yourselves in the mirror tonight. Okay.
So my next, okay, well, that was some good tea. All right, so my next Leo queen,
don't ever be,
is Miss Viola Davis. We love her. She is an actress, producer, and CEO and co-founder of Juby Productions, which she has with her husband. She is the only African American to get the Triple Crown, that is an Academy Award, an Emmy, and a Tony. And in the year 2017, she won the most awards for Fences. Okay, so two things. One, I think you guys have seen a video of her talking about being the Black Meryl Streep, but we know she's not getting Black Meryl Streep, but she's not getting Meryl Streep money. But just the range in which she has, if many of you seen, she was Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with Murder. Great. She's also in The Help. I think she was like, maybe I shouldn't know, but appreciate her doing that. But
the check cleared.
Listen,
so there you go, girl. Get your money.
What I am most excited about is that her and her husband have produced a film about the Dahomey Amazons. And this was a tribe. So this film is set to release in September. It is going to be called The Woman King. And it portrays true events of the Kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most power states in Africa in the 18th and 19th centuries. Viola Davis will play Naniska, the general of the Dahomey Amazons, and they were an all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dahomey, which existed until 1904.
And they're Wakanda. Okay.
That part. The Dahomey's male
that.
population faced high casualties because of frequent warfare in neighboring Western African countries, and they were forced to annually give slaves to the Oyo Empire. So I think I am super excited actually for this movie to come out, but I love that Viola Davis has used her platform to create her own production company and then to produce a film that is historical truth and has such great power for Black women.
Black women.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, Miss Janelle?
I think that's dope. I've never, and that's another thing. Like, as pro-Black as I am, I learn stuff every day that I had no idea about it. So as you were saying, I was like, that is dope as hell and interesting. But it's needed, not only for her to have her own production company as a Black woman, so that she can place more of us where we need to be at,
Hello.
because white Hollywood's not doing it. But those type of films that aren't the typical us being mammy and 12 years a slave stuff also is refreshing, because that's usually the historical context we get out of white Hollywood, which is like, yeah, we were a lot more things happened outside of that, So I really think that's dope. I'm
Hell
looking
yeah.
forward to it. I'm glad you told me, because
Yeah.
I don't keep up with half the stuff that's going on
No.
anymore. So it's just like, oh, okay, have something to look forward to.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a hell of a film. I can't wait to see that shit. Like, pro Black women all day.
Yes.
Let's see this shit. Like,
Yes.
and yeah, I don't know. Like, it is so sad. I don't know, man. Just like, let people tell their own stories. First of all, I was watching Aladdin with my son today, which is a fun film until you start to think that all the lyrics or all those songs about the Arab world were surely written by white men, and Aladdin's voiced by a white man, and Jasmine's voiced by a white lady. And I'm just like, just let people tell their own story. Like, why?
Or think
We
about every
whitewash
time that
to
they
make
do
everybody
something in
comfortable,
Egypt.
though. Yeah,
Every time they
which
do
is
something
in
in
Africa.
Egypt, it's like,
Right, the Prince of
what
Egypt is
historical
Christmas.
context are y'all using? Like,
No. Remember,
delusions.
whitewashing allows white people to be comfortable in their space again. They
Right.
like making white people uncomfortable is just not what the system is built to do.
Right. Right. White discomfort is the ultimate just
As y'all said
clutch.
earlier, how dare you?
That part. All right, so our final Leo queen that we are going to talk about is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And, before she was that, she was Meghan Markle, an actress on Suits. I never watched that show, but from what I heard, I guess, she was on there for 9 years, so I guess she was pretty good at it. But then she said, let me upgrade myself and marry a prince. And so she, as everyone, we all know,
our very own Princess Tiana. Yes.
Right. She
here
married
for
Prince Harry from the royal family and found a very interesting situation for herself to be in. She went into a very racist monarchy and very much. Thank you, Jamaica. We do too.
Because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
And if you a black girl, no, I was kidding. Anyway, do your thing, right? So she faced a lot of bullying and racism from the British press and from the British monarchy. And those of you who didn't even watch it, but I'm sure everybody's seen the clip of when they went to talk to Oprah, and the conversation came up of the skin tone of the children. So it's not to say that we know exactly who said it, but enough people talked about it and not enough people defended that not being okay. And so Prince Harry and his wife was like, we out. They stepped down from the royal family and they moved to California to have their second child and live away from, the monarch and all of those stuffy ass white rules. And so I commend her for standing up for herself, for her mental health, because she had mentioned that she was suicidal with all of this. And I think goes back to, again, not allowing Black women to be vulnerable, not allowing Black women to be soft, not allowing Black women to have mental issues, because Black women, y'all all right, you can fight through it. And
You strong.
America, Black women is tired of being strong, okay? Just because it's natural.
T-I-E-D, tied.
Motherfucking tad. Y'all remember that? Motherfucking tad of being strong. And so I commend her for standing up for herself and being able to remove herself from that very detrimental situation. Janelle?
It was really awful, like when she was going through her pregnancy, even, and going through all of that, because number one, like, it was obvious to people in our newer generation, because we don't really follow the British royalty as much, but since it was such an American topic with her in it, how racist the press was over there, and like some of the shit they were saying, I was just like, seriously, y'all talking to a pregnant lady like this or about her like this? But you know, it really says something about them that they had to escape to America, of all places.
Right. Yeah, that part right there.
But I'm glad they have their, you know, safety and mental health together now. But it, like, that's colonization in a whole, right? Like, it does not surprise me that they had a skin tone conversation with people who literally created that problem in every colonized area in the world. So big ups to her, but damn, man, like, is it 2022? Or 1922, 1822. I feel like I jumped timelines and nobody told me.
We did a couple times. I think the nodes did it. The nodes shifted.
This is ghetto.
Girl, what
Get
is
me
this?
out of
You
here.
know, Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just I stand a Leo queen that stands up for herself.
I never knew she was a Leo, though.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that was our hot tea chat with a Leo queen.
I love it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank y'all. This was fun.
Yes, it was. We knew it was gonna be fun. We were so ready. We were so ready.
Right, because y'all are fun all the time. It's just me.
You are
it's
fun
just
all
me
the time.
With the...
Thank you for always bringing fire to the chat.
Thank y'all, because this is dope. I really like this show. I tell all my friends that are into astrology to watch it.
Thank you.
Y'all are creating something really cool.
Thank you. Do you want to promote anything before we kick you out?
No, but America, you don't have nothing to celebrate tomorrow. Get on y'all shit.
There you go.
That's all I want to promote. As a Black woman, I'm feeling very oppressed at this time.
Blackity black. Yes.
And while y'all celebrating independence, y'all need to bring that shit back to us, okay? So
instead of a promotion, you're giving America a demotion.
Y'all can follow me on TikTok. It's the same as my Instagram.
Tell them what it is. Tell them what it is.
Oh,
girl.
gotta be Goldie.
Right.
It's a variety show of my psychosis and me raising my child. So.
We love it. We love it.
I want to go back to just while we still have you briefly. You talk about you're not wanting to commit to being a postpartum doula when you knew you couldn't commit the energy, which 100%. As a parent of a small child, like, you really have to preserve that energy. But I will say, when I was pregnant, I felt like nobody prepared me to have postpartum depression, except one woman who told me, she was a writer I worked on Vampire Diaries at the time. One of the writers was like, the 3 months after my son was born were the hardest 3 months of my entire life. That was the darkest time of my life. And at the time I was like, that's kind of a fucked up thing to say to me. But then afterwards, when I was going through the darkest time of my life,
get your dusty energy.
But then I was like, oh man, I understand why she said that. And so for you, as you are journeying into making fun content about, raising a child and or, what's going on in your brain, just know that you are doing helpful work, right? Sometimes just seeing that somebody else has had that thought has had that notion, sees someone else has had that struggle, is so meaningful when so much of what you see, especially about motherhood and motherhood specifically, but parenting in general, on social media is so whitewashed, emotion washed, perfection washed and filtered in all the worst ways. And it can make you feel so inadequate. So seeing anyone else who's like being real about their experience and showing up for other mothers, I think is so important. So I encourage you to keep dipping your toes out there into it.
And I will, I'm going to send you a message of a collective that I do know of that's doing it that you would be interested in. Black women. Got you.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
All right. Kicking you out. Bloop. Bloop. Bye. Girl. Okay. So
we're running over our time.
So what do you want to do? You want to just do the card?
Yeah, I think we pull a card.
Okay.
We're going to skip our audience questions this week. Maybe we'll do a pop-up sometime this week and just answer a couple questions. Or maybe we'll just answer them on the next episode. We'll see.
Right. Thank you, Janelle. Okay, so before I do pull this question, I did forget to mention this earlier. I just want to say this. I'm going to be very brief about it. You are more than welcome to look it up. But I just want to give a moment in time to say rest in power to Jalen Walker. He was a 25-year-old black male that was killed by the Akron, Ohio police last week. He was shot an excessive amount of times, over 50. That's all I'll say. So I just want to give a moment to say rest in power, sir. You will not die in vain. Sending loving, healing energy to your family, and just some sort of day by day. I know that I'm getting all kind of tongue tied because it's just like I couldn't imagine. So, sir, your life was cut too soon, but we here at the Zodiac Chatline, we are saying a prayer for you and your family. So with that, that was nice. Janelle, you are a spicy little firecracker. We love you.
A star.
We love the sunshine. That was a great little hot tea chat. So today I'm going to pull from one of me and Cassie's favorite decks, the Animal Spirit, representing that. We got a Leo, so, as some sort of lioness energy. I love these cards. If you ever want to purchase them, they're really good because they are broken up into their elements. And it's really interesting. Kim Krans, that's right, girl.
Yes, Janelle's a Kim Krans stan too.
Listen, she already
I gotta get her alchemy deck.
I think it just come. I think it just
came out recently. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh my goodness. Too many cards at once. I'm just gonna pull one then.
Sip on my tea a little bit while we wait.
All right. Ooh. We like the daddy elk, huh?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, the elk energy. Okay, that's a good energy for right now. Yeah. I think moving into that. I'm surprised we didn't get the deer. Right. All right, here we go. The elk. Stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously. Totally appropriate for all the energy we're about to step into.
Yup.
So we love some elk energy. So guys, even in this time of craziness and upheaval, maintaining your core values, right? Like everybody's core values are actually coming to the forefront, but maintaining that and the stability within ourselves is the healthiest way, I think, for us to navigate these changing times. But, you know, I can't.
We're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
We're gonna be all
because
right.
we got Generation Alpha who was like, "Fuck this shit, we ready to go."
Here for
So, guys, we will see you next week with another guest. Enjoy your Tuesday with Mercury going into Cancer and Mars going into Taurus.
Have fun with those feelings.
I was going to say, enjoy and embrace the feelings. We still are in Cancer season. It's okay to cry it out because it's got to go somewhere. And yeah, Cassie, you got anything?
Nope.
No.
Have a great night.
You know, it's all love, y'all. Peace.